A Yankees Baseball on Yes is brought to you in part by Prime Day, coming June 23rd to the 26th. By Nissan, hop into a Nissan Rogue and hit the road to adventure. Shop NissanUSA.com. By Optimum Fiber, famously fast fiber internet. And by the New York Lottery. Play today and start imagining your win. There's a buddy of yours in a Blue Jay uniform, and then after the perfect game in a Yankee uniform. This place looks great today. They're keeping the roof open because why not? The weather is absolutely outstanding. We've got our Yes drone working across the border, and it's going to be a sellout crowd here at Rogers Center. In fact, because they're coming off a World Series that went to 7 games in extra innings, this team is hot again in the city, David. They sell out almost every game.
And they were here early. I mean, the upper deck at the top level was filled for batting practice, so you could tell that last year is paying off. One inning away from a World Series title, one play away. That's how close they were.
Well, in the shadow of the CN Tower, the Blue Jays have taken the field. We'll take a look now at the Yankees starting lineup that will face them. Trent Grisham leads off, then Ben Rice at DH. The red-hot Paul Goldschmidt at first. Cleaning up left fielder Cody Bellinger. Jazz Chisholm Jr. at second. Spencer Jones in right field. Jose Caballero bats seventh. He'll play shortstop. Ryan McMahon heating up last 16 games. 304, 4 homers and 8 ribbies. He'll bat eighth and batting ninth. And catching, it's J.C. Escara.
And that lineup will try to solve this young star, Trey Savage. And you can see a little bit of a slow start this year in terms of injuries, but he's back. The numbers across the board pretty good. Walks a little bit high, and let's tell you a little bit more in our Nissan Pitcher Scouting Report. And Stairway to Heaven, that's the release point. He has a release point higher than anybody else in the game. You just don't see that high of a release point. And cut the mid-range and drop the base. Well, that's really, he doesn't throw anything in the middle of the plate. Generally, it's either up or down with that splitter, and that Freebird splitter just kind of flutters out of his hand and drops off the table. It's a unique pitch, a unique style.
Check out the defense behind him, brought to you by your local Tri-State Genesis retailers, Snyder, Straw, and Lucas, left to right. Infielder Okamoto, Jimenez, Clement, and Guerrero. Alejandro Kirk off the IL, he's behind the plate, and Yasavich on the mound. Grisham's ready, Yasavich is ready, and let's do it here in Toronto. First pitch outside, we are underway. And that's challenged right away. Alejandro Kirk with a challenge. ABS challenge by T-Mobile. Wow, and he wins the challenge.
Ball's overturned. Toronto has 2 remaining.
So Kirk, after missing 62 games with a left thumb injury, he's back, and he challenges and wins. Grounded up the middle. Jimenez. 1 down. John Tompane is the home plate umpire. The umpire scouting report brought to you by your local Kia dealers. He's considered neutral. 50 calls have been challenged, 21 overturned. Fewer high strikes, great head of hair, 17 big league season. He's the crew chief. Look at that salad. Nice hair.
All Moss team right there.
Yeah. Here's Ben Rice. One and 0 on Rice. Last 18 games, Ben just has 2 home runs, so 18 on the season. Checks his swing. Yankees have a 4-game winning streak, and they've won 11 of their last 15. 15 games over 500. That's the high watermark for the year. 3-0. Goldschmidt on deck. And there's ball 4. So Ben Rice works a walk.
It's been the early scouting report so far on your Savage on the mound. Command, you got to really make him throw strikes, as his walk rate's up a bit so far this year.
There's Paul Goldschmidt. Guerrero holds on Rice at first. Blue Jays wearing their City Connect uniforms on this Friday evening. See the city skyline on the front of the jersey. Popped up. Guerrero in foul territory. 2 outs. And here's Cody Bellinger. He has the second best WAR in the American League at 3.6. The best, the kid from Detroit, Kevin McGonigal. He's at 3.7. High fly ball right field. Nathan Lucas back. And on the track, he makes the play. And that'll do it. No runs, no hits, no errors, 1 man left. Yankees nothing. Blue Jays coming to bat. Well, Yankees don't score in the top of the first. Now it's the Blue Jays' turn. George Springer, the DH, leads off. The red-hot Ernie Clement at second. Vlad Guerrero, no home run, not many home runs this year. The power is gone, but boy, he does damage against the Yankees in his career. Alejandro Kirk is back. He's catching and cleaning up. Okamoto at third. Lucas in right. Miles Straw in center field. Batting eighth, the left fielder Davis Schneider just got called up, and Andres Jimenez, the shortstop, will bat ninth.
And Ryan Weathers towing the slab here at the Rogers Center, formerly known as the famous Sky Dome. See his numbers on the year. The record should be better. Been a little bit unlucky. And let's tell you a little bit more of that in our Nissan Pitcher Scouting Report. And LaGrange, like the great ZZ Top song, when he's grooving and throwing strikes and getting that rhythm going on the mound, he's tough to hit. And what's going on? He's getting no run support this year so far. And his papa was a Rolling Stone. Played for a lot of different teams. He was a gamer, and his son is a gamer.
1-0 count on Springer. Springer had a renaissance year last year, but he's fallen this season at 204. 5 homers and 14 runs batted in. Of late, 7 hits in his last 39 at-bats. That's 179. But he hits the Yankees well. And a strike. Still 1-2.
It was Springer's renaissance year last year, I think, that really led the Braves, or led the Blue Jays to the World Series. I mean, he was fantastic last year, almost like he was in his prime years. But this year, slow start so far.
High fly ball right field. Spencer Jones puts it away. Take a look at the Yankee defense, brought to you by your local Tri-State Genesis retailers. See, Ryan McMahon is over at third. He's our Car Shield defensive player profile. Second in the majors since 2021 with 59 defensive runs saved. 45 outs above average, also second in the majors. And Key Brian Hayes leads in both. That one's laced to right field, but slices foul. Ryan McMahon could play that position. He's about as good as anybody.
No doubt about it. We've seen it. Very smooth over there. Very controlled. Never panics. Great hands. This guy's pretty good too. Ernie Clement might be a candidate for the All-Star game at second base for the Blue Jays.
Slow roller, going to be a tough play. Here comes McMahon. It's a base hit for Clement.
It's do or die, and it's probably going to be die either way. Even if he comes up with a bare hand and gets it going, you can see how quickly Clement is out of the box. He runs well. No real shot.
Well, he came into this game leading the American League with 80 hits, so that's 81 now, and also leading the American League with 19 doubles. Here's Vlad Guerrero, 21-game homerless streak. And people in Toronto are befuddled by it. He's carrying the weight of the world on his shoulders. Been a lot of injuries on this team. He doesn't have Bo Bichette anymore, and he's just trying to do a lot, and it hasn't happened for him. Average isn't bad, but 3 home runs for Vlad Guerrero kind of jumps out at you.
It's not really surprising to me that he could go through a home run drought because his swing is so level. He's always been more of a line drive hitter, even though he's tremendously powerful.
Popped up, shallow left field. Caballero called off by Bellinger, who makes the play. 2 down. So the Blue Jays are 3-3 on what will be a 10-day, 9-game homestand. And they're 4-7 in their last 11 games. Here's Alejandro Kirk getting a really nice hand from the crowd after all that time on the IL with a broken left thumb on a foul tip. He is a crowd favorite here, and they certainly miss him. April 3rd, he got hurt. So 62 games without Alejandro Kirk. And to make room for Kirk, they designated for assignment Tyler Heineman, who's been here a long time. They did that because Brendan Valenzuela, who we saw when the Blue Jays were at Yankee Stadium, was so impressive they wanted to keep him, and they didn't want to carry 3 catchers. That one gets away from Mascara as Clement moves to second.
Just clanked it off of his thumb. That's a pass ball.
David, they scored at a wild pitch, amazingly enough.
Yeah, okay. Scorekeepers get a do-over.
So 3-1 on Kirk. He had 6 rehab games before they called him up. Crowd groans. Kirk does not challenge that, so it's 3-2.
Another look. You be the judge. What do you see? Kirk thinks it's inside. He doesn't trust it enough. He does have good eyes because that's right there on the corner.
In the left center field, on the run is Grisham, and he can't make the play. One hop up against the wall. Clement scores. Kirk stops at second. RBI double. Comes back with some emphasis. It's 1-0 Blue Jays.
Well, we've seen this a lot from Kirk. He can hit. And he barrels this one up. And the only question is whether Grisham's going to get there or not. And it's or not. 1-0 Blue Jays. Missed it by that much.
There's Okamoto. And a strike. Okamoto did not have a good 4-game set at Yankee Stadium. He was 1 for 16 and struck out 9 times. Oh, and 2. He strikes out a lot, 32.7% strikeout rate, highest in the American League. 1-2, just missed. Did he go? No. Ramon De Jesus, the first base ump. Steven Jashinsky is the second base ump. Paul Clemens over at third. We told you Tom Payne behind the plate. Two. Grounded foul. Okamoto, 11 seasons with the Yomiuri Giants, 6-time All-Star in Japan. And he signed a 4-year, $60 million contract on July 4th with Toronto. Driven deep to left field. If it's fair, it's gone. It is gone. Into the upper tank. What a shot by Okamoto. A 2-run blast. It's 3-0 Toronto.
Nothing cheap about that one. All the way to the top shelf. Down the line.
There's Nathan Lucas. If you want to count the luxury suite levels, that's the 5th deck. And he settled in nicely, just inside the foul screen. His 14th home run of the year.
Well, he's the only guy in the Blue Jays lineup with double-digit homers. Came in with 13, and now that's going to be 14. And a 2-run shot.
Soft ground ball. McMahon will get Lucas, and that'll do it. But the Blue Jays score 3 runs on 3 hits. A long home run by Okamoto. It's 3-0 Toronto. One of today's player props brought to you by Bet365, where winning is everything. 1 or more home runs by Jazz, plus 425. So the Yankees behind the 8 ball early, 3-0 behind Trey Yasavage. Line drive into right field, and that's going to dunk in there for a base hit in front of Lucas. 1 pitch, a single for Jazz.
Kind of little out in front of this, right off the end, and that's what saved him. I mean, he's on it, but the fact that it was on the end allowed it to drop in. You can tell by the sound of the bat. Little hump back, take the knock.
Here's Spencer Jones. Hit his first major league home run in the series against the Guardians. 443 feet. He's been much better the second time around. Since coming back, 6 hits and 12 at-bats. Now, Meredith, you caught up with Spencer about the monkey that was on his back.
Well, Michael, although he didn't necessarily think he was pressing by any means, he said just hitting that first one felt good. You get it out of the way, and now you can just focus on every at-bat moving forward. Now, the Yankees were actually able to track down that ball, so we got it after the game. And here's another look at that long home run, 443 feet in Cleveland, off the progressive sign in center field. Impressive for the rookie left-hander.
0-2. Upstairs, 1-0. Now 1-2, sorry.
Michael, it looked like a line drive to center field, and it just went 440 plus feet.
Swing and a miss. Jones down on strikes.
Well, This is more of the splitters. You see a little bit of fade down and away. Your Savage has a splitter and a slider that both are really unique from that high slot. Hard to hit.
Last Friday, he had one of his tougher outings ever. Gave up a career-high 6 runs to the Orioles. Runner goes. And a bobble there. Couldn't get a hold of the ball, Kirk, so he didn't make the throw. A stolen base for Chisholm, his 18th of the year.
Kirk, very good, too. You can see, just can't get the handle. And a great jump from Jazz, so probably wouldn't have had a chance anyway.
Pitch was a ball to Caballero. Well, he burst upon the scene last year, Yasavitz did, toward the end of the year, and then had that unbelievable game against the Yankees. Pitched well in the World Series as well. And he didn't have enough innings to qualify for league leaders, but he had a strikeout percentage of 34.2, which was better than Tarek Skubal, but there were some concerns behind the numbers, David, because when people put the ball in play, they hit the ball really hard. Now the strikeout percentage is down this year, but the exit velocity also down. But the thing, and you said this on the open, you got to lay off the high pitch. Everybody looks at the splitter, which is a devastating pitch, but he also throws a fastball higher in the strike zone, and he gets people chase.
It's a great point, because when he's in the mid-range area, that's when the hard contact happens, and when he falls behind in the count, that also is when it happens. So one of the keys, yes, get good pitches to hit. Easier said than done, but he is prone to walks.
Another walk, that's the second in 2 innings. Here's Ryan McMahon. With the 2 runners on base, they have the double steal in their back pocket, but as David mentioned, Kirk is very good behind the plate. McMahon's average inching up. He's at 217. Last 16 games hitting 304, 14 for 46, with 4 home runs and 8 runs batted in. Check out the Coors Banquet Start Your Legacy, and this is on Trey Yasavage. With the splitter, the opponents at 131 against them. They slug 242. They strike out 42.3% of the time, and a whiff percentage of 50%. It is that devastating a pitch. And here's his complete arsenal on StatCast 3D by Google Cloud.
And that arsenal comes out of a window, his release point, that's higher than anybody else in the major leagues right now. Well over 7 feet off the ground when he releases it. That's the uniqueness that hitters don't see very often. It's more of his mechanics that allow him to get his arm up that high and throw all of his pitches from that window.
Now he goes 3-0 on McMahon. And there's ball 4, and the bases are loaded. So a humpback line drive by Jazz, a strikeout of Jones, and then a walk and a walk. And the Yankees are set up here, bases loaded with 1 out.
The look of Yasavage in that release point, you can see he kind of really gets his neck out of the way. The old school saying for that is bow your neck. But you get your neck bowed a little bit, that allows your arm to get higher. Kind of an old school style.
So big spot here for J.C. Escar. The Yankees have gotten really nothing out of the catching position. No hits this month. And big opportunity for J.C. Before the game, Boone reiterated he thinks J.C. Escar is a good hitter. He said it just hasn't happened in the games yet. He said maybe that's because of irregular play, but now he's seeing more steady time with Wells on the IL. Got him in on the hands, 0-2.
Yeah, it's really a unique situation for Escara to be in, from being sent down to immediately called back up because of Wells' injury to now getting a runway to see if he can play or not.
Flew right by him. Upstairs, so a strikeout of Escara, now 2 away with the bases loaded, and back up top to Grisham.
Yeah, the riding four-seamer up is going to just go right on by as Escara is underneath it, and Tardy.
So a big strikeout for Yasavich. Bases loaded, 2 outs. Here's Grisham, who grounded to short in the first. Foul ball on the splitter. Game 5 of the World Series last year, Yasavich against the Dodgers, 7 innings, 1 run, no walks, and 12 strikeouts. And that win put the Blue Jays up 3-2 in the series. Looks like they were going to win the series. And the 12 strikeouts, a World Series rookie record, and the most ever in the World Series without issuing a walk. And the amazing thing, before his performance against the Yankees in the ALDS, David, he had 3 major league starts. He was a total unknown. He was a first-round draft pick, but obviously nobody had seen him up here.
Yeah, and the Blue Jays almost rode him all the way to the World Series title.
High pop-up. Clement called off by Jimenez, who puts it away, and the Yankees waste an opportunity, and they leave the bases loaded. We'll go to the bottom of the second.
Welcome back to the Rogers Center, where Brian Weathers is on the mound for his 2nd inning of work. Weathers really prides himself on being a team guy. That's why when Aaron Boone came to him before Game 3 of the series against the Guardians and asked him if he could be available out of the bullpen, he said absolutely. He told me after the game he was very well aware of the situation with the pen, how heavily they had been used, and that there were not a lot of arms available back there. That's why he was more than willing to do it. He actually got up, guys, in the 4th inning and threw about 10 pitches when Carlos Rodon got into some trouble. Rodon got out of that jam, gave the Yankees another 2 innings en route to a win, but Weathers admitted when he stood up there in that bullpen and started throwing, the adrenaline started pumping a little bit. Now, that was strictly circumstantial, guys, and speaking to Matt Blake, he said there was a need there. That's why they did it. He's, of course, out there starting tonight, but you do wonder what direction the Yankees are going to go when they have to make a decision on that rotation. Max Fried is making some progress, had some new imaging done. He's expected to throw from the mound this upcoming week. So still a few weeks away, but certainly interesting that he was going to be available out of that bullpen.
Absolutely. You know, left-hander throws 98 miles an hour. That's intriguing working out of the bullpen. But when Max Fried does come back, David, it's either going to be Warren or Weathers that gets moved into the bullpen. And, you know, Warren's pitched great, and Weathers has pitched better than his numbers would show.
And Weathers has experience in the bullpen.
Josh Chisholm gets Miles Straw. Take a look at the Yankee bullpen budget, brought to you by Citizens. Make sense of your money with Citizens. Boy, did they need that day off, David. You look on Wednesday going into that game, they were cooked. That's why he was warming up. But they got a reset using just Hedrick and Yarborough, and yesterday everybody was off.
One of those days where you're thankful you have a couple of guys that are sort of like middle relievers that can do multiple innings spots for you.
There's Davis Schneider. He was counted on to be part of a platoon and contribute as he did last year. He just is not hitting this season. And they sent him down to the minors for a couple weeks. And David is one of the most unbelievable lines. In 14 games at AAA Buffalo, he had 188, but his on-base percentage was .550. He had 24 walks, but he's doing a lot of swinging and missing.
If you think about it, those two categories kind of go hand in hand. So in order to have a good eye and to walk a lot, you have to take some pitches, you have to see the pitch, and sometimes you're more defensive, so you're more prone to strikeouts.
And that's going to be challenged by J.C. Escarra.
The previous pitch is called the ball. The catcher's challenge.
And he's right.
Ball's overturned. New York has 2 remaining.
So both teams with a successful challenge by the catcher. McMahon gets the hop. And guns down Schneider for the second out. And that brings up the number 9 hitter, the shortstop Andres Jimenez. Last 20 games he's labored 10 for 60. But still has 30 runs batted in. And he gets clipped. So he's going to take first base like it got him on the guard.
Right off the guard. And a ricochet, too, not a direct hit.
Here's George Springer. Hit .309 last year. Now hitting .204. OPS 959 last year, 633 this year. His WAR last year was 4.8. This year it's negative 0.4. 36 years old.
He was a big part, as we mentioned earlier, of the reason why the Blue Jays got to the World Series. And he's always played well against the Yankees, the American League champs. Really, it was one play from winning the World Series. I mean, there's always ways to look at it, but they were that close.
They were about a foot away if Kiner-Falefa took a longer lead, and it wasn't on him because the third base coach didn't want him to be back-picked at third, so they were conservative, and that cost them on the play at home.
Agreed.
Because you can make the argument that the Blue Jays outplayed the Dodgers. The Dodgers got big hits, big pitching performances. Fouled away. Former World Series MVP in 2017 with the Astros. Hit .379 in 7 games against the Dodgers. Driven to left field and deep. Bellinger back, looking up, see ya. A home run for Springer, a 2-run shot, and it is 5-0 Toronto. There's Clement. David, the home run has been an issue with Weathers this year.
No two ways about it. And maybe the Yankees were the remedy for Springer to get going, because he always seems to do this against the Yankees.
High fly ball. Right center, drifting over is Jones. He'll make the play, and that'll do it. So the hit batter is huge because I brought up Springer, who did this, his 6th home run of the year. He knew it was gone, When it landed, it was Blue Jays 5, Yankees nothing. Play FanDuel's Daily Dinger for free every day for a chance to profit boost if your selected player hits a home run. And here are the featured home run odds for today's players. Ben Rice, who's at the plate, plus 490. Spencer Jones, plus 900. One and one, so the Yankees in a 5-0 hole in game one of this 3-game series. Rice walked in the first inning. Yankees had the bases loaded, 1 out in the second, but Escara struck out and Grisham popped to short. Stranding 3. Well-placed fastball, tying him up, 1-2. They played 4 games at the stadium in May, and they split the 4. And they were close games. Yankees won 7-4 and 5-4. Toronto won 2-1 and 2-0. The Blue Jays kind of catapulted themselves to the World Series last year with the 4-game sweep of the Yankees right here in Toronto. That was a rough weekend. Grounded to first. It's a fair ball. Guerrero flips to Yasevich. 1 down. Now, Rogers Center last year, the Yankees won 1 time in 9 tries, and that includes the postseason. Blue Jays almost doubled the scoring. Yankees had an ERA of 8.26 to the Blue Jays 4.33, and the Yankees played sloppy baseball, 12 errors to 5.
And the Blue Jays played very smart baseball, conversely. Put the ball in play. They were hard outs, tough outs, up and down their lineup last year.
One and one. Yasevich missed the first month of the season with a right shoulder impingement. One and two. Loop to second base. Clement is there. 2 down. So here's Cody Bellinger. Strike on the outside corner. Popped up again. Jimenez will make the play, and the Yankees go down in order. Yasevich has retired 5 in a row. Time for Pinstripe Pride, brought to you by Toyota, the official hybrid vehicles of the Yankees. And tonight's picture is of Madeline, who got to see her first Yankees game in the Bronx earlier this season. Use the hashtag Toyota Pinstripe Pride, mention yes in pictures you post to social media. To reflect your love for the Bronx Bombers, we might spotlight you in a future game. 5-0 Blue Jays, a 3-run home run by Okamoto, a 2-run home run by Springer. Guerrero leads off. Coming into the game, Weathers was allowing 1.67 home runs per 9 innings. It's the 4th highest in the American League, so that's gone up. He's now allowed 15 home runs this season. Chop to third, charging McMahon. They get Guerrero, one away. So here's Kirk. He actually had an RBI double in the first, and Okamoto's home run was a 2-run shot. First game back after missing 62 with a left thumb that was broken on a foul tip. One and 0. You know, with all the injuries that the Blue Jays have had, they're 3 games under 500, but just a game and a half out of the third and final wild card in the American League. And this year, the American League is very forgiving. You don't have to have a great record to get the third wild card.
Absolutely. It's a great point. Just stay in it. The Blue Jays really strong in the catcher position this year. When Kirk was out, a young kid, Brandon Valenzuela, came up and has really established himself. That kid can play a little bit. He's opened some eyes, so Blue Jays strong behind the plate.
Check out the leaders brought to you by your local Tri-State Buick dealers. Since 2022, 4th in batting average amongst catchers, 12th in OPS, 5th in WAR. Line drive and past a diving McMahon, and that's going to go to the wall. The throw to second, and Kirk went halfway and scrambles back and stays there with a single.
Well, he smokes it right to the wall, and Bellinger just bare hands it perfectly. I mean, I know it's him running. He's not the fastest guy, he's the catcher, but that's a double. And Bellinger cut it off and made a perfect throw. So a little under the radar, another thing that Bellinger does well.
There's Okamoto, a monstrous 2-run home run in the first inning into the 5th deck here at Rogers Center. Oh, and 2. Ground ball. McMahon on to first. He reached twice for the ball. That cost them the double play. They get the out at second, though.
Well, that's exactly right. Right there, just a little double hitch. Probably was the difference.
There's Nathan Lucas. And a strike. 56 pitches for Ryan Weathers. 2 outs into the third. Through 25 in the first, kind of set him back. Did he go? Nope. Swing and a miss. Lucas down on strikes. No runs a hit. 1 man left on base. We played 3, 5-0 Toronto. Players All-Stars. Scan the QR code to cast your 2026 Konami eBaseball MLB All-Star Ballot daily or visit MLB.com/vote. Jazz Chisholm leads off. He had a single in the second. Swings at the first pitch again, lofts it to left field and deep. Snyder back, gets there, and makes the play. One pitch, one out. Spencer Jones struck out in the second inning. Batting in the sixth hole, playing right field for the Yanks. Yankees in their ninth game without Aaron Judge.
This is called a strike. The batter's challenged.
Spencer Jones is challenging that strike call. They're 5-3 in the previous 8. And they got it right.
Follow the ball. New York has 2 remaining.
John Tumpane not having a great night so far. 0 for 3. Two and 0. On Jones. And there's ball 4, so Jones works a 1-out walk. That's the 4th walk for Savage.
That's been the difference for him this year so far.
There's Jose Caballero starting at shortstop tonight. He walked in the second inning.
Excuse me, Michael. You watch Jose Caballero take batting practice. He has a lot of fun. He hit one up almost in the 5th deck. Pulled down the line, similar to what we saw in the first inning.
Fly ball shallow center. Here comes Straw. There's Ryan McMahon. He walked in the second inning. One and 0.
If the Yankees are going to get back in this, it's going to have to be a combination of walks and long balls. And that's what they're capable of doing. But with Aaron Judge out, it's a little different. Especially considering the success that Aaron Judge has had against the Blue Jays in his career. So I'm sure the Blue Jay side, looking over at the Yankee side, going, looks a little different without him.
Two and 1 on McMahon. Just having Judge around, it's like it's a 6'7" eraser. Make a lot of mistakes go away with one swing. That one is ripped into center field, but right there, Miles Straw puts it away, and that'll do it. No runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 man left on base. It's a beautiful evening here in Toronto. Blue Jays lead 5-0. It's coming to New York and New Jersey, and you can get in on the World Cup Mania at Yankee Stadium on Thursday, June 18th. First 18,000 guests in attendance receive a Yankee soccer jersey courtesy of Bank of America. Tickets are going fast, so get yours today at Yankees.com. Go to the bottom of the fourth inning. Blue Jays up 5-0.
Yeah, the best thing Ryan Weathers can do right now is give his team as many innings as you can and hope for a comeback. When I was a rookie, one of the best games I ever saw pitch was by Dennis Martinez, El Presidente, famous El Presidente, El Perfecto game he threw. He gave up 5 runs in the first inning, and in the 8th inning, there were still 5 runs on the board, and his team clawed back and tied it in the 9th inning for him. And that's the mentality you have to have as a starter.
2-2 on Straw.
63 pitches here for Ryan Weathers. Get as much as you can out of what's left.
Straw down on strikes.
Good start. Little change up. Gets him to swing over it.
It was Davis Schneider, grounded out to third in the second. And a strike.
There's been some great calls by some great play-by-play announcers over the years, but El Presidente, El Perfecto, one of my favorites.
Oh, 2.
3,000 with an exclamation point was pretty good too.
Touch them all, Joe Carter.
Yes. Very good. The great Tom Cheeks. There he is. Tom Cheek. Sorry, I didn't mean to add an S to your name. Was a legend.
High fly ball. Grisham puts it away.
Here's a pitch on the way, a swing and a belt. Left field, way back. Blue Jays win it. The Blue Jays are World Series champions. Touch them all, Joe. You'll never hit a bigger home run in your life.
Forever call. A forever call. Jimenez takes outside. 1-0. And a strike. Another fly ball. Grisham is there to put it away. And Weathers retires the Blue Jays in order as we go to the 5th inning. Well, tomorrow on Yes, the Yankees and Blue Jays play Game 2 here at Rogers Center. Pre-game coverage starts at 2:30 with first pitch scheduled for 3:07 on Yes and the Gotham Sports app. Here is J.C. Escarra to start off the 5th inning. Just an incredible stat from the Yankee catching position. They have not had a hit since May 30th. They are 0 for 27 in June. 0 for 29 since May 30th. But in the month of June, no hits. And he had a big opportunity there in the 2nd inning for the Yankees to get back in it. Bases loaded, 1 out, and Escarra struck out. Now, it's going to be interesting to see what team takes a chance on Tyler Heineman. That could break that streak. Here comes Straw. He's not going to get there, and it's going to go to the wall. It'll be a double for Escarra, the Yankee catcher's first hit this month. A leadoff double.
Goes up top. Drives that ball the other way. Nice level swing. Paul O'Neill would like that swing.
As we told you earlier, Heineman, very good defensive catcher, was designated for assignment to bring Alejandro Kirk back onto the 26-man. And that means that every team, from the worst record to the best in that order, will have an opportunity to claim Heineman. But you don't get to do that for a couple of days. And, you know, word around the Blue Jays is they're happy it can't be done this weekend. Who knows if the Yankees would claim him, but they're worried about the Yankees and the Red Sox and any team in the American League East, because David, he knows all the state secrets from here.
Yes, knows the signs, knows the tendencies.
That one is dribbled up the third baseline and foul. They would have to change all their signs, and as you said, rejigger their tendencies. It's an important consideration. I'm sure they thought about before they DFA'd him. But Heineman's a good defensive catcher, not a great hitter, and the Yankees have their catchers very good defensively.
They need a hitter, that's for sure. They need their catchers to hit. And that's a big double for Escara to kind of break that string that you illustrated.
One and two on Grisham. Now 2-2 on the Yankee center fielder. And the count is full. Grisham in the top 10 in the American League and having full counts, so that's why he leads off. He sees a lot of pitches. Gets on base. He's been red hot last 19 games coming into this one, hitting .377. Hit sharply and grabbed there by Guerrero. He took a double away. Steps on the bag for out number one as Escara moves to third.
Guerrero has really good hands. That was scalded about 107 miles an hour, and it was scooting on the ground, stayed low, and Guerrero just ate it up.
They'll play the infield back for Rice with one out and the runner at third. Only one in is Okamoto at third. He's about a foot behind the bag, but way off the line. Rice leads the Yankees with 45 runs batted in. Number two on the list is Bellinger with 43. Bounced up there. Good block by Kirk. Saved the run.
Let's see where this one bounces. Wow, that's a good foot in front of home plate.
Three and one. Goldschmidt's on deck. Escara led off the inning with a double, moved to third on the grounder to first. Now he's at third with one man out, and the 3-1 count on Rice. And there's ball four. Another walk for Yasavage. And that'll bring up Goldschmidt, cooking up something special with Hexclad. Join the hybrid revolution at hexlad.com. Last 30 games hitting .321 with 7 home runs and 22 runs batted in. OPS approaching 1. He's 0 for 2 tonight. Blue Jays back for the double play. Runner on first and third. Grounded foul. Fifth inning, Yankees down by 5, trying to start chipping away. Oh, and 2. And that's going to be challenged by Goldschmidt.
A rare challenge from Goldschmidt.
An unsuccessful challenge.
New York has 1 challenge remaining.
And you're right, rare is the word. He hardly ever does that.
It's the uniqueness of the Savage slider that almost backs up. It looks like it's going to be away and just kind of goes down.
The 0-2. High fly ball. That'll get a run in. Backing up is Lucas. He makes the play on the warning track. Tagging is Escara. The throw comes into second. A sac fly for Goldschmidt. 29th ribby of the year. Yankees on the board. It's 5-1 Toronto.
Just another professional at bat from Goldschmidt. But the first run they've scored off of him, you Savage, in the third start now.
Yep.
They broke through.
There's Bellinger. That's drilled to right field. Is it high enough? It is high enough. It is a 2-run home run for Bellinger. They're not signaling yet. It looked like it off the top of the wall. Scoring is Rice. The second base umpire now does say it's a home run. So a 2-run shot for Cody Bellinger. The Yankees are right back in it. It's 5-3.
The previous play is under further review. The call on the field was a home run. This will be a crew chief review.
Oh, yeah. Hit above the blue line.
Look like it, yes. Looks like a homer to me.
If it hit the wall, it wouldn't have bounced up like that. It would have bounced straight back onto the field. A lot riding on this review. It's a big hit for the Yanks if it's gone.
After further review, the call on the field is confirmed. It was a home run.
See ya.
It's the most understated see ya you'll ever hear. Right there.
10th home run for Bellinger. Now it's 45 ribbies. The Yankees get 3 runs here in the 5th. It's 5-3 Toronto. And there's a strike to Jazz.
Another look at Bellinger. Off speed and up. That's a splitter that hung. And Bellinger made him pay.
0-2.
It's just what the doctor ordered. You get base runners, you get a couple walks, you get one big swing, and you're right back in it. We got a Wago.
The 0-2. 1-2. Strike 3, and he's challenging. He's going to challenge here
Previous
in the
pitch
5th
called a
inning.
strike. The batter's challenged.
And he's right. By
Called
about
up the turn. New York still has one challenge remaining.
it's like a strand of John Tumpaine's hair.
No, I think that's even too thick. I love the body language on Jazz. Like, yeah, I knew it.
2-2 with 2 outs, 3 runs in. Swing and a miss. Jazz down on strikes. But the Yankees get 3 runs. A 2-run home run by Bellinger halfway through. Toronto up by 2. Take a look at the Optimum Fiber famously fast replay.
And we've seen George Springer do this time and time again against the Yankees.
Audi scoreboard 5-3. Toronto leads as Springer takes a strike. Top of the order for the Blue Jays against Ryan Weathers. So his team has gotten him right back in it with the 3 runs in the top of the inning. And that's unusual because when he pitches, he does not get a lot of run support at all. So when he gets a start, they score 3.09 runs per game. For every other starter, 5.70. One and 2. Foul back. Since the beginning of last season, coming into this game, Springer, 296 hitter against the Yankees, 389 on base percentage, and the home run in the second was his 8th home run against the Yankees since the beginning of last year. And the pitch. 3-2.
That's the pitch that Weathers has struggled with tonight, that sinker that he hasn't been able to throw for strikes. It's a big hitter for him right here, and the Yankees leading off this inning after they're back into the game.
Bird warming up for the Yankees in their pen. And he ends up walking Springer to start out the 5th. And here comes Matt Blake to talk with Weathers and also give Bird more throws. I don't know if you saw this story, David, but it was fascinating to me. Tom Henke, the great reliever from the Blue Jays, you know, he handled all the pressure of being a reliever, and now he's suffering, his people are saying, from PTSD, from being a closer. And they said it's directly from that. He doesn't like to be around crowds, doesn't like loud noise. He's actually traveling here for the reunion of the championship team, but it's very, very difficult for him, and it stems from all the pressure of closing. I'd never heard that before.
Yeah, I could certainly understand it. There's a lot of pressure. You live your losses. Your losses stay with you more than your successes and your wins.
And you see with you know, Jeff Hoffman, what he went through last year, and he's not having a good year at all. I mean, there have been guys that gave up big home runs.
The guy who gave one up to Joe Carter. Touch 'em all, Joe.
Yep, Mitch Williams. And the tragedy of Donnie Moore, who gave up that big home run for the Angels. So
That was awful.
it is a pressure-packed job because the whole game comes down to that. Everybody's done their job. They've given you a lead, and if you don't do it, then the whole thing is washed away. And it's just a terrible story about Tom Henke. But again, he will not get on airplanes. He doesn't like enclosed spaces anymore. And he's going to drive from Missouri to be here and try to take part in the festivities. And he was a heck of a pitcher. In front of the plate, Escara takes the out at first as Springer moves to second. Here's Vlad Guerrero, and here's Boone. So Aaron Boone wants Bird to face Guerrero. Weathers goes 4 1/3, gives up 5 runs, couple of home runs. The runner at first is his responsibility. Guerrero against Bird. When we get back, stay right here. Yankees Baseball on Yes is brought to you in part by Memorial Sloan Kettering Cancer Center. By Hyundai. Hyundai gives you America's best warranty on every new vehicle. Visit Hyundai.com for more information. And by Sage, proud accounting software provider of the New York Yankees. MVP to MVP. Some pretty good players right there. Jake Bird takes over for Ryan Weathers. Weathers, 1 out, 1 on. That's what he left behind. Runner at second base. Guerrero at the plate. Grounded, fair, inside third past the diving McMahon and down into the corner. Scoring easily is Springer, and Guerrero picks himself up an RBI double, and it's 6-3 Toronto.
Well, first pitch sinker, trying to get in there, and Guerrero beat him to the punch and kept it fair right down the line.
So here's Kirk. As you know, David, the last thing you want to do, your team puts up a 3 spot, you want to put up a 0. Right away, the Blue Jays stemmed the tide by scoring this 1 run.
Yeah, they answered right back.
So a rough outing for Weathers, 6 runs on his ledger, 4 1/3. That's a base hit to right center field. Jones comes up throwing, and the ball cut off by Goldschmidt. Scoring is Guerrero. Kirk is 3 for 3 off the IL, and it is 7-3 Toronto.
Well, Kirk showing the Blue Jays what they've been missing. And that's the kind of hitter he is. Hacking and slashing, fighting it off, just line drives all over the field.
There's Okamoto. You bring in Bird to get the 2 right-handed hitters, and you look up and there are 2 more runs on the board. One and one. So 82 pitches, the line is now complete. The runner at first base is the responsibility of Bird. One and two. Two and two on Okamoto. Foul back over the screen. 7 runs on 7 hits for Toronto. 3 runs on 3 hits for the New York Yankees. Sellout crowd here at Rogers Center. The roof is open on a Friday evening. And the count 3-2. Ground ball, McMahon. There's one. And not in time. Jazz kind of nonchalanted it at second base, and Okamoto got down the line to beat it out.
Get another look. Couple of hopper to McMahon. Yo, Okamoto, he got down there pretty well. Another look at what Michael's talking about here at second on the turn.
No, he gave it, no, it wasn't as nonchalant as I thought. You said it, he got down the line.
He's quicker than you think.
Pitch to Lucas inside.
You know, when I played for the Blue Jays in 1992, Dave Winfield was on this team, and during the World Series, he famously implored the Blue Jay crowd to get into the game, get it more active, anticipate the flow. Well, the Blue Jay crowds nowadays, they're into it. They get into the games. This place is packed. And we talked about the great year they had last year and how close they came. It's a lively crowd here now. Yeah, most people remember the Joe Carter shot and the call we had from Tom Cheek earlier, but Dave Winfield had the game-winning hit in 1992. Scorching double down the line, gave the Blue Jays a championship, their first. If you talk to Dave Winfield today, how proud he is of that moment, how thankful he is to have a championship. A great player, looking for a signature moment in postseason, and this was it.
Swing and a miss. Lucas down on strikes. But the Blue Jays answer back with 2 runs. They leave one on. We go to the 6th. Winfield celebrating his championship. Thank you, Bob. 6th inning, Montefiore Einstein scoreboard, 7-3 Toronto. And Spencer Jones leads off here in the 6th against Savage. Three and one on Jones. Jones has struck out and walked.
Then he only needs one more thing for the 3 true outcome night. A homer.
Yeah. Could be on this pitch. No, another walk. Let's go around the majors. Tarek Skubal will return from the IL tomorrow, and he underwent elbow surgery on May 6th. Amazing, that new surgery that they have. Shohei Ohtani exited last night's game in the 7th, left knee inflammation, And Chandler Simpson, no stolen bases in the last 23 games, just 4 attempts. That's hard to believe.
Very hard to believe. The left knee on Otani's his land leg, and that's a problem when you're a pitcher.
Hit sharply, a base hit. That'll go into the left field corner. Jones rounding second, he's going to go to third. Schneider digging it out of the corner. They'll hold Spencer Jones at third. It's a double for Caballero, and it's second and third for the Yankees, nobody out.
Yankees going to try to get back in this game again. And that's just a hanging slider. Caballero drills it. Second, third, nobody down. It's probably going to be it, too. .81 pitches in the 6th. Hit the showers.
He leaves runners on second and third. Gets a nice hand from the sellout crowd, and the Blue Jays go to the pen. Hey, it's time to name that Yankee. Brought to you by Prevagen, made for your brain. 21-10, 3.83 ERA. See the innings. He started with the Blue Jays, 2 tours of duty with them. Pitched for the Yankees in 2024, Pirates in 2025, and finished up with the Phillies.
Those are a reliever's numbers.
And now Trey Savage has turned it over to a reliever. It is Mason Fluharty to face the lefty swinging Ryan McMahon. One and one. He's the only lefty in the bullpen for the Blue Jays, making his major league leading 37th appearance. Since May, 1.72 ERA, and he strikes out a lot of people, 31.3%. Fouled away. Ahmed Rosario will pinch hit for Escara.
Yeah, I was curious. He had a shot to do it here, but he's obviously waiting for Escara next.
And that one is tipped into the glove of Kirk, and McMahon down on strikes.
Just well executed, just off the plate with the slider.
And a trip to the mound to talk about facing Rosario. Pete Walker's been here a long time.
See, McMahon stopping to share with Grisham what he saw. Could you imagine Paul O'Neill doing that after a strikeout? Hey, what's he got, Paul?
Nothing. Now Kirk's going out again after Walker's left, and he's being followed by John Tumpane, who broke up the second conference. Not sure what was going on there. Maybe it has something to do with the pitch comp.
Looked like that Kirk was pointing to the pitch comp, so quite possibly that was it. Obviously a big spot in the game here for the Yankees trying to get back in it again. You got Grisham, the lefty, on deck. First base is open.
Slow roller in front of the plate. Fluharty fields, fires, got him. Runner had to stay put at third.
Well, Fluharty gets Rosario to swing right over the top of this changeup. And then makes a nice play to go get it himself, because he's the only one that can make this play. And he does.
Pop foul off the bat of Grisham into the seats. Grisham's 0 for 3 tonight. Big spot in this game. Second and third, nobody out. Now, second and third, 2 outs. One and one. Two and one on Grisham. Grisham with 33 runs batted in. There's 2 out there right now.
Really good take right there to lay off of that breaking ball.
Two and two.
Fluharty's got a good one.
Fluharty has pitched in every inning this year except for the third. He's opened 3 times, so they use him when they see a lane of lefties. 2-2. Line foul. Very big spot in this game for the Yanks. The 2-2. Line drive into center field. It's a base hit. Scoring is Jones. Here comes Caballero. Here's the throw. Here's the play. He's in there. And going into second with a single and 2 RBIs is Grisham. And the Yankees are down again by 2, 7-5.
Just a great at-bat by Grisham. Covering that slider that Fluharty left on the plate and knew it the minute it came off the bat. He made a mistake. Caballero with a great jump. If Grisham's okay at second. Looked like he's banged up a little bit, limping, and this is not what the Yankees need, but a bit of an awkward slide as his back leg gets underneath and the front leg too.
And they just challenged because his foot came off, David. So that might be the 3rd out. And he's walking gingerly off the field right now. This is the unintended consequence of replay. This is not what replay's in there for, but if you look at the replay, his foot comes out the back as he jams it, and the throw is kept on the leg.
Yeah, maybe a little bit of a stumble around first here, maybe. And now he's got to go, and boy, he pulls up right there. So yeah, he really pulled up. Something might have happened around first. Hard to speculate from this point, but he really kind of checked up halfway to second. The look on his face tells you something. Not a good sight.
After further review, the call on the field is confirmed. The runner is safe. Toronto loses their challenge.
He's off the field, so they've got to send a base runner out. He didn't come off the field because he thought he was out. He came off the field because he's hurt. Let's see who they send out. I guess I could go with Schumann, because he could play the outfield and Spencer Jones could move to center.
The Yankees outfield depth is going to get really tested this year, and the kids are going to get a chance to play now.
And it is Schumann. Well, they said the plan was to play Jason Dominguez this weekend, but if something is wrong with Grisham, you might see Dominguez up tomorrow, just out of necessity. He's playing in right field tonight.
Dominguez does have experience in center field throughout his minor league career.
So what do you think, David? He hurt himself between first and second or on the slide?
My guess is around first, because he really slowed up. Knowing the throw was coming, he checked up as if he was a little bit lame right before the slide, and it was a late, awkward slide as well.
Pitch is up and in on Rice.
So as you watch right here, he's watching the whole thing unfold. Now he's going to second. Now he knows he's got to get it, and then he checked up right there as if something pulled out. Something happened to him there, including the late slide.
High fly ball, right field. Lucas settles underneath and makes the play. But the Yankees answer back with 2 runs on the big 2-run single by Grisham. We go to the bottom of the 6th. Blue Jays up by 2. Yankees have emptied the bench with the moves that they made. Jones moves from right to center. Schumann comes in, he stays in and goes to right. Sanchez takes over behind the plate. The only guy left on the bench is Anthony Volpe. Bird still in there, and he faces Straw and deals a strike. A little bit of a barn burner here in Toronto. 7-5 Blue Jays, bottom of the 6th.
Got a lot of game left.
Two and one. Right field, they'll test out Schumann right away. He makes the play. Schumann, a pretty valuable player.
He can do a lot of things.
Yep. So Davis Schneider due up, and they send up Yohendrick Pinago. And here comes Aaron Boone to make a pitching change. So bring on the lefty to face Pinago. Fans, when you get Gotham, you get live games and exclusive Yankees content. Download the Gotham Sports app to stream highlights, features, podcast, original series, and so much more. And if you get Yes on TV, then get the Gotham Sports app for free. So download and sign in today. Full house here at Rogers Center on this Friday evening. Toronto is hopping, and Brent Hedrick comes on. Last 10 appearances, pitching to just over 1 ERA. Good season so far for him, 1.97. And Pinago swings and misses. He's been a pleasant surprise for the Blue Jays. One and one.
He's kind of filling the role that they thought they were going to get when they signed Anthony Santander from the O's in a big free agent contract, and really he's been injured the whole time.
Swings through the slider, 1-2.
Similar style in the batter's box too from the left side.
Swing and a miss. Dominated there by Hedrick. 2 away.
The aggressive style of Hedrick is really his strongest suit. It's a strike thrower with all of his pitches.
So here is Jimenez. Check out Papa John's key ingredients. Yankee bullpen last 7 games has been excellent. 1.35 ERA. Lined into right center field on the run is Schumann. He dives, can't make the play. Backing up nicely is Jones. He'll get the ball in, holding Jimenez to a single.
Gotta love the effort. Spencer Jones got your back, so go ahead. Take a shot. You're not gonna get there. Because your buddy's backing you up, you're gonna hold him to a single.
Pitch outside to Springer. 2-run home run in the second, walked and scored in the 5th. Three 3-0 on Springer. And he walked him on 4 pitches. And that's going to be challenged by Escar. Oh, by Sanchez, I'm sorry. Ali Sanchez. And Ali's right.
Pitch is a strike. New York still has 1 challenge remaining.
There's a ball 4. So he walked him on 5 pitches rather than 4. And Springer walks for the second time. So that puts runners at first and second with 2 men out, and the always difficult Ernie Clement.
Blackburn's ready if needed.
And Hedrick has already faced the requisite 3 batters. Right field, Schumann will make the play, and that'll do it. No runs a hit and 2 men left on base. We played 6. Good one, 7-5 Toronto. Take a look at the Mohegan Sun team scouting report. These are the American League standings. The Rays and the Yankees are essentially tied for first place. Just percentage points separate them. And the Blue Jays 9 games behind at 33 and 36. Orioles 9.5. And the Red Sox in last place at 27 and 39. And they're actually talking about Boston selling off players. Here's Braden Fisher.
They're not happy at Fenway right now.
Goldschmidt, Bellinger, and Chisholm against the Blue Jays right-hander. Goldschmidt with a sac fly in the 5th. Piniago, who would pinch hit for Schneider, takes over in left field. Tap slowly, foul. 7-5 Blue Jays. They led 5-0 after 2 innings. Yankees scored 3 in the 5th. Blue Jays answered with 2 in the bottom of the inning. Yankees came back with 2 in the 6th, and that's where we stand. 7-5, 7-8-0 for the Blue Jays, 5-5-0 for the Yanks. Yankees have left 6 runners on base over 6 innings. 1 and 2. You know, the Yankees were the first team to 40 wins in the American League. They're now at 41 and 26, a season high 15 games over. But they've been very streaky. If you look at their breakdown, they started off 8 and 2. Then the next 9 games 2 and 7. Then they were 16 and 3 over 19, 4 and 10 over 14, and now they're an 11 and 14 surge, coming to 41 and 26. 2 and 2. Ground ball, and it gets through for a base hit past the diving Jimenez. So a single for Goldschmidt to start off the 7th. And that'll bring up Cody Bellinger. And he hit a home run his last time up. We'll take a look at the exit velocity presented by Spectrum. 104 off the bat, traveled 350 feet, and it needed every inch of that 350 to get over the wall for a home run. Strike. Threw him a curveball. This is Fisher's 35th appearance of the season. Tied for the 2nd most in the majors. His teammate Flew Hardy leads with 37. So through the first 16 games of the season, Fisher had a 1.53 ERA. Over his last 18, it's a 4.0 ERA. Yankees want to get a lead before they face Lewis Borland, who's been really, really good closing for the Blue Jays. High fly ball, right center. Straw makes the call on the catch for out number 1. There's Jazz Chisholm Jr. 1 for 3. It's taking too much time for Jazz's liking, so Jazz called time. McMahon is giving a scatter report to Spencer Jones on what Fisher throws.
By error. Chisholm will not be charged with this timeout.
I think he said the clock went off by error, the pitch clock. Can't play without a pitch clock anymore.
No.
Gotta have it.
And a pitch com. That one gets away from Kirk as Goldschmidt moves to 2nd.
Just clanked it. That's a pass ball.
I would agree, but we'll see what they call.
If it doesn't hit the dirt, it's a pass ball.
Yep, pass ball. Two 2-0 on Jazz. 3-0.
It's a good approach against Fisher. He never gives in. Throws a ton of breaking balls, ton of curves and sliders that have an unusual break to them. Straight down.
And there's ball 4, didn't come close. So a walk to Chisholm. And that'll bring up the rookie Spencer Jones. Yankees have enjoyed 7 walks. So Jones is 0 for 1 with 2 of those 7 walks. Foul back to curveball.
You really need to know the pitch usage of the pitchers coming in. 80% of the time you get a breaking ball from Fisher.
One and one.
It's either a slider or a curveball. 50% of the time it's a slider. Almost 30% of the time it's a curveball, as you see Nance warming up behind him. Just throws his four-seamer 16% of the time.
One and two on Jones. Doval up next for the Yankees in the 7th. And that's going to be challenged by Kirk.
Catcher's challenge.
Two and two or a strikeout. Let's see. You got it wrong.
That call is confirmed. Toronto has 1 challenge remaining.
So 2 and 2 on Spencer Jones. First and second, 1 man out in the 7th. Yankees down by 2. Swing and a miss. Jones down on strikes.
You got him to chase this high slider. Out of the zone.
So here's Jose Caballero. 1 for 2 with a walk, doubled and scored in the Yankees' 2-run 6th inning. Meredith, you have an update on Trent Grisham?
Michael, the Yankees just announced that he left the game with right hamstring tightness, so we should have more on the severity of that after the game.
Thank you, Meredith.
That would explain why he pulled up after he rounded first base. Right there, when you got to kick it in gear and get there, is when he felt it.
Foul back. The 0-2. Well, you look around, very few empty seats. It's like the old days when you played here, David. Every single game was 50,000 people. They drew 4 million a couple years in a row. Now they've taken out a lot of the seats because they, put in different attractions here, but it's still about 45,000, 44,000. The 0-2. Chop foul.
Friday night, the Yankees in town. I think they had a giveaway too. Yeah, soccer shirt tonight.
Yep. A Jimenez soccer jersey.
People love free stuff.
The 0-2. Tap slowly, going to be a really tough play. The throw to first, not in time. Caballero beat it out, and the Yankees have the bases loaded for McMahon.
Well, this is what Caballero does. Got down 0-2 and just stays in it. Fights it off, puts it in play, and then beats it out.
He smelled it and called it. McMahon 0 for 2 with a walk. Runners on second and third. Nobody out in the sixth. He struck out. And that was against Fluharty. Now facing the righty, Fisher. Curveball drops in for a strike. High fly ball, center field, Straw back, and puts it away for the final out. Yankees load the bases, and they leave him loaded. Time for the 7th-inning stretch in Toronto. It's 5-7-0 for the Yankees. Weathers won 4 1/3. The guys just discussed that. Bellinger with a big 2-run home run, his 10th of the year. Savage actually gave up runs to the Yankees and actually walked guys, 6 of them. Blue Jay home runs, Okamoto and Springer. And for the Yankees, they have left 9 runners on base. The Yes View from our drone, traveling all over Toronto. The amphitheater roof is open as the Yankees call on Camilo Doval to pitch the bottom of the 7th inning and hold it right here. 3 straight scoreless appearances for Doval, and he'll face Guerrero, Kirk, and Okamoto. Ford scoreboard 7-5 Toronto. Fouled off the cutter, 0-1. Grounded. Foul. Paul Clemens right there. It was a great look.
Guerrero making a bid for his 2nd double down the line. Just missed it.
High fly ball, shallow right. Schumann comes on and puts it away. This MLB season, get a Baja for a blast. When a home run clears 420 feet, you can score a free 20-ounce Mountain Dew Baja Blast. Register now at BajaBlastHomeRuns.com to unlock the offer. There's Alejandro Kirk, 3 for 3 after missing 62 games. First day off the IL and skipped a beat. Triple digits on that pitch by Doval. Started the day at 150. Now he's at 261. That's what 3 hits does when you've only played a couple of games. The Yankees in for some tough times with Tyler Rogers, who's been very stingy this year. He'll pitch the 8th.
The Blue Jays have 2 pitchers on their roster that are at the extreme ends of both release points in all the big leagues. Tyler Rogers is the lowest release point, and your Savage has the highest release point. So if those 2 guys follow each other, well, that's quite a contrast.
Perfect night continues for Kirk as he walks. And that'll bring up Okamoto, and now it's time for the mobile performance.
The only question was fair or foul. It wasn't the distance, because the distance got all the way up top. And it was fair. He's the one guy in the Blue Jays lineup that has provided the pop with those 14 home runs so far. The only one in the lineup tonight with double digits.
One and one. One, two. Swing and a miss. Okamoto down on strikes.
Really good slider. And a perfect location. You get a lot of hitters to swing and miss that one.
There's Nathan Lucas. Line drive, base hit over the leaping try of McMahon. Bellinger will get the ball in. A single for Lucas, his first hit of the night, as Kirk stops at second.
So this is what Lucas does. I mean, just hits line drives all over the park. It's a tough out. Just off the tip of McMahon's glove. Good effort.
Blue Jays 4 for 5 with runners in scoring position tonight. Yankees not as successful. They've left 9 runners on, 2 for 10. One and 2 on Miles Straw.
Another good slider here might do the trick. He's had a good one tonight.
Got him. A called third strike, and Straw down looking. No runs a hit, no errors, and 2 men left on base. Pretty close pitch, didn't challenge, called strike 3. We go to the 8th. We take a look at the pitching decisions presented by Sage.
That was a big pitch right there. Up and in, got Jones to go for it. And McMahon, good wood, but a little too high.
So Sanchez will lead off against Tyler Rogers and hits a ground ball to Okamoto. 1 pitch, 1 out. His average fastball velocity is 83.1, so he's not throwing the ball by you, but he's getting you out. "35 years old, 8th big league season, his 407th appearance since 2021. That leads all major league pitchers." Here's Schumann. Swings at the first pitch and grounds it foul.
Yeah, a true submarine delivery today's game, and this guy's solid as a rock. It's one thing to throw submarine, it's another thing to have great command down there as well, and he's got both. He's got a pitch, it's got a nickname called the Alien, kind of an under submarine slider that almost rises like a spaceship. And this delivery, we showed you, you savage from over the top, and this one's as low as you can go without hitting your knuckles on the ground.
Split last year between the Giants and the Mets, and then signed a 3-year, $37 million deal in December. He's a mirror image of Tim Hill. He's the lowest arm angle. Tim Hill's the second lowest. So he's a low velocity pitcher, right, David? So make sense of this. He and his wife Jennifer had a son as he strikes out Schumann, and he named the kid Nolan Ryan Rogers.
Nothing wrong with wishful thinking.
Huh.
You can see that just locked him up. Looked like it was going to be inside the whole time and just darted over the inside corner. That's as low as you can go without hitting the ground.
Hit sharply, and right there is Clement. Bobbles and regains. And Rogers works a 1-2-3 8th inning. We go to the bottom of the 8th. Toronto up by 2. It's time to name that Yankee. Here are the clues that we gave you earlier. You want to guess, David?
I think I know, right?
Tim Mesa.
Yes.
Gave up the 61st home run to Aaron Judge. And there it is.
24, Hendrik Youngo.
And his joyous teammates, Mom, Roger Maris' son. What a special moment that was.
Now, Michael, it's funny. He was DFA'd by the Blue Jays in 2024. He signed a minor league deal with the Yankees mid-year that year, eventually called up in August. And everybody knows that he was the guy on the mound that gave up home run number 61 here in Toronto to Aaron Judge. So his teammates wanted to break the ice a little bit when he got up to the Major League clubhouse, Michael. So they handed him a thing of balls signed by Aaron Judge and asked him if he could sign every one of them so they would have the complete historic set. A little brutal, very funny, and at that point in time, he knew he was part of the team and part of the clubhouse. How great is that, guys?
That's pretty cool. That is pretty cool.
And he graciously signed the entire box of balls.
And those balls are probably worth some money now.
You betcha they are.
And he wasn't really sure how he would be received by Yankees fans, but he was kind of surprised that many of them just continued to thank him for serving up the home run, for being a part of Yankees history.
Because I don't know if there exists a baseball where Roger Maris and Tracy Stallard on the same ball.
Very doubtful.
And I don't know if Al Downing ever signed, 715 with Hank.
That one, maybe.
Maybe. Pinago pops it up, giving a look is Goldschmidt. Runs out of room.
I mean, if Mookie Wilson and Bill Buckner can get together and do appearances, I mean, anything can happen.
Right. But that took a while for Bill Buckner to reconcile, and then he finally did do it.
One of the best skits Larry David ever wrote.
Yep. Swing and a miss. Pinago down on strikes. Cruz picked up the save the other day with David Bednar not available. He's been pitching very well, Cruz.
Just off the table.
Right back up the middle and grabbed there by Caballero, and he turned a hit into an out. Getting Jimenez for the second out of the inning.
Makes a very difficult play look very easy to get there and make that kind of throw on the money. You gotta love it if you're on the mound and you get a play like that behind you.
Pitch outside to Springer. That one just misses. 2-0. Strike, 3-1. There's the closer, Verland. He has been close to unhittable. strike. Threw the splitter for the strike. And it'll be the heart of the order, 3, 4, and 5 for the Yanks against Varland. Did he go? No, he did not. So Springer works a walk. That's his third walk of the night. It's amazing, Dave. Doesn't matter how much he slumps when the Yankees come into town. He has a home run and 3 walks. It's just like it doesn't matter.
See that a lot when the Yankees show up, or when opposing teams come to Yankee Stadium as well.
Clement fouls it off.
They are the Darth Vader. They are the team you want to beat. The Dodgers are now in the National League, but the Yankees have always been the team that you measure yourself against. The team that when they're on the road brings out the fans. The team everybody wants to beat. And I've said this before, and I know you've heard me say this, but Star Wars doesn't work without Darth Vader. And whether you like it or not, the Yankees play that role.
Fly ball right field on the run is Schumann. Toward the line, it's going to fall in and get by him. Springer rounds third, he's coming home. The throw from Goldschmidt is not in time. Sanchez thinks he got him. Right now it's an RBI double for Clement, and it's 8-3 Toronto.
They're not going to challenge. It's a great slide by Springer, and he's in there. Another look.
Wow.
Hand first, tag second.
That's about as close as it gets.
Great shots from our cameramen.
Now that is a big run. Now it's not a bloop and a blast. It's a bloop and a bloop and a blast.
Looked to me like Schumann got a little bit of a fooled on that ball in right field. A little bit of a circuitous route, didn't get a good read on it.
Then had a retreat to get it, kind of played it over his shoulder, but a really good relay throw from Goldschmidt.
Great recovery, and you're right, Michael, right to Goldschmidt and quick.
That's a good call by Tumpain. That's a really close play. One and two on Guerrero. Guerrero, RBI double in 4 at-bats.
You can see there he got a bad route as he breaks back, and then you got to come back in.
Yeah, by coming in, it allowed the ball to bounce over his head. If he took a straight route, he plays it on one hop, and I don't think Springer even tries to score. Foul back. swing and a foul ball. Strike three. Guerrero down looking. But one big run for the Blue Jays. One man left. Ninth inning coming up. Yankees down by 3. Yankees Baseball on Yes is brought to you in part by Sandals Resorts. Get closer to the Caribbean. By your local Tri-State Genesis retailers. Learn more at genesis.com. And by Mohegan Sun. Beyond your wildest. Great look at this beautiful city as the Blue Jays lead 8-5 as we go to the 9th inning. 8 runs on 10 hits. Yankees 5 runs on 7 hits, and now they'll have to try to rally against the guy who's been so good, Lewis Varland. Look at the ERA, 0.50. That leads the majors. Opponents hit 198 against him. 11 for 11 in saves. 2 earned runs in 35 and 2/3 innings. So the Yankees have their work cut out. And a strike. Well, fans go to @Yes Network on X and vote for the Montefiore Einstein Player of the Week. Is number 1, Jazz Chisholm. This guy, number 2, Paul Goldschmidt. Number 3, Trent Grisham. Goldschmidt 1 for 3 with a sac fly. His bullpen entrance song is Animal I Have Become by 3 Days Grace, and he's become an animal on the mound as a closer, like that.
.100 miles an hour above the belt.
Foul back. Oh, 2. 100 miles an hour, then an 87 mile an hour knuckle curve.
Yeah, he's a true 3-pitch pitcher, too, for a closer. Got a changeup in there as well.
Well, fans, stay tuned for tonight's WB Mason Yankees postgame as Bob Lorenz, Todd Frazier, and Adam Ottavino are in the studio with highlights and analysis. Meredith Marakovitz gets player interviews in the clubhouse. We'll hear from Aaron Boone on the manager's report. That's all coming up next on Yes and the Gotham Sports app. 1-2. When the Twins dismantled their team last year at the trade deadline, no one thought that Varland would be traded. Local kid, but the Twins got a great offer from the Blue Jays and made the deal. From North St. Paul, Minnesota, that was his dream to pitch for the Twins. Blue Jays played 18 postseason games last year. He pitched in 15 of them. Ground ball short. Jimenez. Yankees down to their final out. And that'll bring up Jazz Chisholm Jr. 1-1. 8-5 Toronto. Top of the ninth inning, first game of a 3-game set. Yankees have their 4-game winning streak hanging in the balance. They just swept the Guardians and they won the last game at Yankee Stadium before Cleveland. 1-1. 101 miles an hour, 1-2. And Jazz is going to challenge that. He said, why not? It's the ninth inning.
That pitch is confirmed. New York is now out of challenges.
You understand that challenge. I mean, you can't leave with it in your pocket and save it for tomorrow, so he took a chance.
Absolutely.
And the 2-2. 3-2 as Jazz trying to work his way on. Varland winds, kicks, and deals. Grounded foul. As Jazz are actually too quick on 100 miles an hour. Strike 3, ball game over, and the Blue Jays win 8-5. Back and forth, Yankees had their opportunities but left 9 runners on base to lose the first game of this series.
And Varland just shows you why he is the most dominant reliever in the game going right now with a 3-2 knuckle curve right in there. Unhittable.
Well, he hasn't blown a save yet this year. So the Blue Jays have won 3 of the 5 games against the Yankees. 2 more Saturday and Sunday coming up. We'll be back.